Okie dokie, we've got Demelza's Trans Am, 82 Pontiac Trans Am in again today, doing some further electronics works. In addition to the audio system that we put in a few months ago, we're now putting in a biometric ignition control system, which is fundamentally a fingerprint reader with some other controls. We're going to be mounting the controls in the centre part of the dash in front of the audio on demand system, which we installed a couple of months ago. It's going to be going forward and back and rear of the transmission selector. The fundamental parts are an off-the-shelf racing ignition control switch panel, all illuminated and so on. The biometric control is this. It is a industrial fingerprint reader designed for reading fingerprints, and it's basically a latching fingerprint activated switch, nothing much else. Benny's helping us today, so there's two of us getting into this project, and we're going to have this thing nailed. We're also doing a minor retrofit to the control panel of the audio control system, replacing this switch here, which is the selector switch for the audio file to be played from the motion sensor in the front of the car. Not really happy with the setup on this particular switch, so we're just changing that switch to a double pole switch instead of a single pole, and it's just all it's really doing is changing the operation of the LEDs on the panel, but we'll cover that later. Okay, here we are fitting the biometric ignition control system. We mentioned that we were looking at putting it in the centre part of the console here. Well, after some investigation we found there's no space underneath. The selector mechanism and the illumination panel are in the way, and it would take too much modification to make it work there. But we've actually found that we can easily mount it to the right hand side of the steering column. Here it is here. It's just literally mocked up. We've only just done the cutout, so that's just sitting in there for now, but that will screw in there. And over this side we've mounted the biometric control panel to the left of the steering column, and it actually works out quite well. So now we're going to start wiring and get it working. Here we are getting through the project. We're right in the middle of doing all of the wiring harness and wiring things in. Ben's over there wiring in the different components of the ignition system, basically paralleling off the ignition switch. We've got the control panel apart, replaced the switch that's been not so much giving us trouble but not operating how we wanted, so I'm about to wire that in. Down here we've got a 12 volt to 24 volt DC-DC converter which drives the biometric reader. That's because that's like a industrial device that's designed to go on heavy machinery and so on. It's not really designed for car use, so I've had to make it work. Anyway, we're getting into it. It's on its way. Here's the center console all back together again with the new double pole switch in it, and the way that the system works now is when we rotate this switch, the LEDs come on indicating what position it's in, instead of before where the LEDs only activated when the motion sensor triggered things. We've got the start system set up. There's the power converter for the biometric reader. Ben's just doing the final ignition connections now, and we're about to give it a bit of a test fire, so come back to that in a second. Rightio, here we are all done and completed. Benny's going to demonstrate how the system works. So we've got our control panel down here. Flick that on, that gives us our accessories. And over here,
that's that one.
Okay, so here's the biometric panel that operates. Turn the switch on, that operates. Put your finger on it, it enables the system. Dash lights come up, engine starts. Simple as that. And that's it. And that's another Cable in Queensland interesting project.
Always a Cable in Queensland interesting project.
That's right.